In the nerd community, overzealous fanboys are considered especially annoying. In the Gym City, these dedicated fans narrate and give their 2 cents on everything from Batman to pop figures. These fanboys are part of an elite squad known as the Token Nerd. These are their podcasts.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Token Nerd Podcast. We ramble on about geeky things ranging from Batman to pop figures to Star Wars. My name is Anthony Pettiford.
And I'm Travis Lyinks.
We're back for episode 6, everybody. And just like every episode so far, we've spent an hour setting up. All right, well, hope you enjoyed that opening. I don't think we talked about it last time.
Yeah, we didn't. Surprise! We have an intro.
Yeah, we're thinking about planning out the intro idea a little bit.
Yeah, having a different one maybe every so often, or just trying out something different. We'll see.
Yeah, trying to add a little bit of spice.
Make us different.
Yeah.
How many other podcasts have a Law and Order inspired intro?
No one except for the Law and Order podcast. All right, well, we got a couple things to talk about, mainly in the toy news department. So we'll breeze through a couple things that's happened this week. Last Sunday, as everyone knows, was the Super Bowl.
Was it?
Yeah, apparently.
Yeah. Is that a thing?
I heard it was kind of boring.
I heard there's 50 of them.
So far. All right, well, one of the big things to come out of the Super Bowl were the different trailers. Now, there were several trailers, but we're only going to talk about what was my favorite, and I think it was your favorite too, of the trailers that came out, because we had an awesome Jungle Book trailer that was really long. We had a new I like the Jungle Book trailer.
Why is Disney making every movie that was a cartoon live action? Can we have a live action Toy Story, please? Like,
how awful that'd be. Or an anime. That's an animated, like an anime Toy Story.
That's animated.
But I think one of the big ones that everyone's going to talk about is Civil War, because we all expected an actual trailer to come out, and it kind of was like when Iron Man 3 had come out. They had their big their trailer or teaser trailer that came out during the Super Bowl, and basically as soon as it came out, you got onto their Facebook page. If you liked their Facebook, you could see the full extended trailer on their Facebook page.
Man.
Unfortunately, they did not pull that from the book. Basically, we got a pretty decent. I think it was 30 seconds long.
Yeah.
It started out with some really cool chanting where it was like a group was chanting like "Divided we United
we stand."
And they said it twice, and then halfway the trailer, it switched to "United we fall, United we fall." Yeah. We had some cool new shots. One, it looks like Bucky is back inside of a. He's like hooked into some machine.
Yeah.
Not the machine we saw at the end of Ant-Man.
Yeah.
Or the beginning of the first trailer we saw, but he looked like he's hooked up to some machine.
Yep.
It also shows him taking a handgun to Tony Stark, and Tony Stark having some weird, crazy Iron Man watch, and he catches it, and he has this look like, how dare you? Like, it was like I don't know. I like the look that Robert Downey Jr. gave, but so we got those two shots, and then there was the golden look. There was a pan of both sides.
Yeah, it kind of shows the teams.
Yeah.
Who's on what side.
We got our first, because we didn't see the SDCC Civil War trailer, which apparently shows like what Red Hawk, or I forget what Falcon's like bird's name is, but he has like a mechanical bird that does surveillance for him. And we got to see a little bit of commentary between Ant-Man and America, but in this one we finally get to see our first look at Ant-Man, and his helmet looks different.
Yeah, his helmet is a little different.
Yeah, you see more black on the side, but so we'll see him. We got another look at Black Widow, or not Black Widow, but Scarlet Witch on Cap's side. And then if you also look, when it pans out, Captain America's shield has 3 claw marks in the shield, so it shows that he before they did the standoff, he faces off with Black Panther. And then when we go on to the Iron Man side, it pans out and you see Vision, which Vision is God in this Marvel universe. He's basically God.
Yeah,
he can do whatever he wants. So I don't know. It wonders me that there's even going to be a fight. I mean, maybe that's why. Maybe Scarlet Witch and Vision are what cancel each other out. So that's why Vision is able to be a threat, and the two of them face off and fight while everyone else kind of shows off.
They go off and do their own thing.
Yeah. So there's that. Overall, what did you think of the trailer?
I mean, it made me excited for the movie. I mean, I've been excited for this movie, but it's really just kind of submitting that and really just getting ready to kick off the movies for this year. I mean, it's probably. I mean, I believe it's probably my most excited movie that I'm most excited for as of
Not the Jungle Book.
right now.
No.
But I thought the scene where Captain America blows through the window, that was kind of cool.
Hmm.
Yeah. And I'm interested to see the interaction between Bucky and Cap as well throughout this movie. I mean, obviously, it's going to be a different relationship, I assume, than in the last movie.
See,
So,
I'm more excited to see how Ant-Man plays into it. Like, I want to know how he gets involved. Obviously, it's through Falcon because that's the only Avenger he's formed a connection with, or he's even interacted
well,
with.
no, because at the end of Ant Man, correct? They, I guess it was just Falcon, wasn't it?
Hmm.
When he met him on the bench. Yeah.
That was he just says I know. They didn't talk to each other.
Okay.
He just mentioned that through the grapevine.
Yeah.
He says I know.
Okay.
But yeah, so speaking of movies, so this is your most anticipated movie of the year. Let's briefly talk about my highly anticipated movie of the year, who just released their final trailer,
That's good.
Batman v Superman.
That's pretty good since it's like less than a month away now,
But let's talk about the first 30 seconds of this trailer, because this is a long trailer.
right? Yeah, it was a long one.
I will say that the first one that came out, this is the third full trailer, we'll call it.
Yep.
The first one was really good, and that was
Yep.
the one where it was like you see Captain America land, or not
Captain America.
you see Superman land and walk to the courthouse, and then they do that whole spiel, and you're like, okay, yeah, we have the Batman versus Batman v Superman. At the end, it says, "Tell me, do you believe?" And that's where
Yep.
that whole quote really came from. But then we got the second trailer, which I don't know. I really don't know a lot of people who liked it because it showed Doomsday. It showed
That was the one that everybody felt like kind of
like
ruined
spoiled the movie.
Yeah.
And the truth is, people, we all know that Batman and Superman are going to be friends. Like that's not a secret. But
I mean, this is the dawn of justice. It
yeah,
has to
but
be
like
leading
don't
up to
take
something.
away the excitement for that to happen. But anyway, so this new trailer, because since that trailer came out, we got a couple shorts, a couple 30-second teasers of like that were solely Batman, one was solely Superman.
Yep.
And it was all about them facing off. And
This
so
one was Batman. It was his perspective.
this was very much Batman.
Yeah.
This movie will be very much Batman. I mean, so like I said, first 30 seconds, it's you see a really cool dialogue between Jeremy Irons' Alfred and well, not even back and forth. You just hear him talking to Batman over an intercom,
Yep.
and it's like I see like 20 hostiles on the third floor. I'm gonna drop you off on the second, and he's on the Batwing, and it lands. And he jumps to the window, and it has a cool moment where you see like the bat symbol, and he busts the window,
Yep.
and the bad guys are waiting like with their guns at the door, and then he just bursts the floor and then beats the living crap out of them all. And I posted this on our Facebook page, or my Facebook page, that said I could easily see this movie where it was just 2 hours of Batman punching bad guys in the face. I mean, solely that.
Yeah. I think, well, my opinion from this trailer about the movie is that this movie is going to establish that this is not the same Batman that you saw in the prior 3 movies that everybody's familiar with.
Mm-hmm.
Because to the layman that doesn't understand, they might have got confused by that. Is this somehow linked to those other movies? I mean, those Superman movies were out at kind of the same time. That could be your layman.
Yeah.
So I think this will, the beginning of this movie, or maybe not the beginning, but the Batman portion of this movie is to explain that this is a different Batman and like how he's different. So he's an older Batman.
Mm-hmm.
He, kicks people's butt. Really, I mean, and it's a different Alfred too.
Yeah. I just laugh when there's a point where he says, "I'm getting slow in my old age, Alfred," and he says, "Yes, even you are too old to die young."
Yep.
And I think back to Christian Bale's Batman, who was so old and couldn't beat Bane. This Batman would have butchered that Bane.
Yeah.
And so, but overall, we got more shots of Batman and Superman fighting.
Yes.
And it even ends on a really cool shot where it's Superman swinging at Batman and Batman stops the hit. So there's got to be like some kind of kryptonite or a lack of red sun. Maybe, and hear me out for this one. That storm that they're fighting in was Batman made. Batman had some kind of device or maybe Lex Luthor did something. Because you see those shock waves going into the sky, and we thought maybe that's the creation of Doomsday, but what if that's the creation of some kind of weather system that blocks out the sun or it coats something so the red sunlight isn't getting in, and that's why Superman's weak now.
Could be.
So while they're in this storm, I don't know. That's just my thought.
Or he could just have kryptonite in his glove.
That's true. That's very true. Okay, but overall, we're highly excited for this movie. The trailer looks awesome. There will be a link in the description down below, along with a link to the Captain America Civil War. But I'm assuming if you're listening to this podcast, all 6 of you, you've probably already seen this clip.
All 6.
Yep.
Now we got 25 on some.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah. We're getting there.
We're getting there.
Build an army.
So the next thing I want to talk about real quick is everyone's favorite franchise, Hasbro. Not even the Hasbro, but Hasbro has a pretty popular franchise called Transformers. Now, see, Transformers is a special type of franchise, Travis, because they make movies even though we don't want them.
Well, see, it stems from the 80s, and back when toy companies actually created a line of characters and then made a TV show about it so that you bought the toy.
Yes.
So they're still trying to do that.
But my thing is, so I thought we were gonna reboot the franchise, like just start over from scratch, give new designs, whatnot.
I mean, wait, don't insult the fans. Don't reboot.
No, I'm gonna insult you guys. Let's reboot. The first one was good. I liked the first one.
Dude,
The
let's just move on to Beast Wars.
second.
I mean, we gave all the people that grew up in the 80s their thing, the nostalgia of Transformers and all that stuff. 90s kids want to see Beast Wars.
Let's just
probably
move on to the 90s. Oh no,
me.
you want to see Beast Wars?
Just me.
It goes back in time. It's like a primitive.
I want it to be in the really crappy 3D as well. Like they're playing in a N64 game.
Yeah.
Polygons.
But like I was saying, so basically they've announced that they're gonna have 3 new movies in addition to 4. I just want to point out, Age of Extinction is on Hulu right now. I will not watch it, and it's
Is
free.
that the last one?
Yes.
I started to watch that one.
Oh, you did?
Like 5 minutes.
I watch CinemaSins. And we'll plug another YouTube channel. Yeah. So I listened to CinemaSins, and they have a 2-parter. And even watching that, I was just like, I can't do this. Like, this just sounds awful.
I mean, I'm a bad example. I was never really a fan of any of the movies that much. To me, it was too much giant shiny things rolling around, and kind of cheesy.
Yeah.
Just kind of like cheesy acting. I mean, I've never been a Shia LaBeouf fan, and it
He's
was
not
really
famous anymore either.
Yeah. And he and a lot of people were just in it for Megan Fox. I mean,
Yeah.
like I really feel like that was it, and I really don't have not a lot of nice things to say about that movie.
And neither do I, which kind of leads us to the next point of mine, because we're not going to dissect the movie. We might have a special podcast where we're eventually going to have a couple special episodes that are dedicated to bad things on Netflix. And
I guess let's say this though. So there's going to be Transformers 5.
Yes.
Okay. And then there's going to be 3 additional movies.
2 additional movies to 5.
2 additional movies. And one of them is a Bumblebee movie.
That is correct.
Okay.
A Bumblebee spinoff.
So we take the most popular character out of the movie and we make another movie. That's a formula that works. I mean,
it just sounds like a terrible idea. And I was going to put that out there as news because I wanted to cover something that wasn't superhero.
There's got to be a market out
there.
Though.
It's a mixture of the things that we talk about.
But it's got to be a market though, because I still see plenty of people driving around with a sticker of a Transformers logo on their car.
Oh,
so there's still got to be a market. So they're going to pump money into it, and they're going to hopefully reap money back out of it. But I mean, is Spielberg going to be involved in any of this? Was he in the first round there?
I think so.
Yeah. So I mean, if he's involved in it,
I think he's gone though. I think he's completely detached himself.
I wouldn't doubt it.
But yeah, so that monstrosity, just let you guys know, 3 new movies are on the way, so look forward to that. But let's just briefly talk about something that happened a couple days ago. The Deadpool movie.
The Merc with the Mouth.
Merc with the Mouth. So we're not going to go into detail about this because we're going to have an episode solely dedicated to talk about spoilers and our viewpoints of the movie. But overall, what were your thoughts on the movie? Because I know you saw it yesterday.
I had a lot of fun with it. Mm-hmm. It was a lot of people were like, oh, another origin movie, kind of thing. But I think you had to tell that story. And I think it was very cool to kind of how they did it. They didn't do it just like, here it is. It was kind of like intertwined with the story that you're already kind of watching develop
Yeah.
And I thought that was kind of cool.
Yeah, and I saw it on Thursday night and I loved it. I mean, I'm not a big Deadpool fan, but I definitely went into that movie and I laughed a lot. We did have a moment where we walked in and a friend of mine, she looked down and she was like, "There are little kids here." Like
Yeah,
and I know parents were thinking, "Oh, it's a superhero movie, and how bad could it be?"
but there were signs
There
that
were a
said,
lot of signs.
yeah,
This movie is not for kids. I
yeah,
mean,
it's
there's tits.
rated R.
Yeah, I mean, for goodness sake, there's full frontal, and even one point in slow motion, you see Ryan Reynolds' dick. You
Yeah,
see it. Well, not really see
not
it.
like
It's
see
in
it, but
shadows.
it's
I mean,
there.
it's flopping there. But no, this definitely isn't for kids. I mean,
I
f
mean,
words thrown everywhere.
if you took your kid to this, you're a bad parent. Like,
Yeah, I
and
mean,
I'm not trying to like offend anybody, but there's no way any kid under the age of 14, 15, like that's at a minimum,
mhm,
could comprehend or should experience what was in that movie
yeah.
at a minimum.
And like I said, we'll get into depth about this movie in the next video. But I wasn't expecting this movie to be as emotional as it
Yeah.
was. There
Well,
was cues that I didn't think that I got from other superhero movies that had love interest. Because this is the
yeah,
one I was like, they shouldn't have a love interest at all.
yeah,
But somehow they found a way to actually make me care about this screwed up couple.
yeah, and it's
They're not even screwed up.
well, in the latest, I think it's still the latest round of Deadpool comics. The Deadpool new, not new 52, but Marvel Now Deadpool.
All they know.
That book they tried to kind of develop the character, and then obviously they kill him off at the end. Like when the Secret Wars stuff starts up, they kill Deadpool,
Mm-hmm.
and that was kind of interesting to see character development there. And you kind of saw character development in this movie, which is something that Deadpool you don't always see because it's more just a guy making jokes, fighting people,
Mm-hmm.
and is very interesting to see character development.
Yeah, but overall, I love this movie, and it sounds like you did too. And so,
Yeah, I'm
stay.
very excited to see if there's going to be a Deadpool 2.
Oh, there
Which,
will.
yeah,
We'll
I'm
talk about that in the next
well,
video.
yeah, and any opportunity that may come out of it, because if you've been watching the news, well, the internet news, they're talking about maybe X Factor.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
X
Ryan
Force.
X Force. That's what I meant to say. I keep calling it X Factor in my mind, like a bad TV show.
Yeah.
And it'll be interesting to see if they can actually pull that off, and if they do it as like rated R or what they do with it, or if they pull Deadpool back and he's more PG-13 maybe. But I'm very happy with what they did. I'm excited to see what they do next.
I think it'd be cool if they did find a way to like even give him a cameo in like maybe a future X-Men movie. Obviously not
Yeah.
Apocalypse, but if they did and like every time he said something like a bad word, it censored him out. Like he actually brought in like a fourth wall breaking, like I don't know, his personality
Yeah.
didn't change, but they like censored it purposely to make it funny.
I know they probably won't do this, but if Wolverine 2 was Hugh Jackman's last one, as they're saying, and they brought Deadpool into that, like a Wolverine Deadpool story. Talk about movie gold. Talk about bring in the money. Just back the truck up right here.
Yeah, and just dump it out.
And dump it out, because that that would be awesome, and it would be a way for two characters that I think people are really going to like latch onto.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but it'd be nice to see the interaction with the X-Men. I mean, we don't see that in this movie really, except for a limited amount. Um, but it'd be cool to see that somehow worked in.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, so like I said, next video we'll have a full spoiler
We'll just say
review.
it now. Spoiler.
Yes. Um so yeah, keep an eye out for that. But we're gonna move on to some TV news real quick. Travis here hasn't caught up with us in the Flash, Arrow, Legends of Tomorrow. You're up to date with
I'm
Legends
up
of
to
Tomorrow?
date on Legends of Tomorrow. I am up to the amount that Netflix will allow me on both Arrow and Flash.
Okay. So in that case, we won't talk about it, but briefly, without spoiling anything for you, They go to Earth 2, and it's great. It
Woo!
is excellent.
I mean, I don't feel like it's spoiling because I already kind of knew they were working towards that.
Yeah, but then we had Arrow, which was a repeat of season 3. I just felt this last episode,
Yeah.
Sins of the Father, was awful.
Yeah, I just finished season 3, and the last 5 episodes were kind of interesting.
Yeah, it just.
It drug on a bit,
Well, have you seen
and
the last 5 episodes, and you've seen the last 5 episodes, or the last 5 episodes of season 3 were the last episode of season 4 that I've seen. It all kind of
it's
it's
just
all
kind of the
related.
same thing again.
Yes.
I mean, I like the show. It's
Oh no,
very
it's good.
it's very soap opera-y.
Not as good as season 2.
The last season, I feel like it got a bit confusing. There's a whole lot going on, and not everybody gets a lot of FaceTime and whatnot. But I like it a lot. But at the same time, during season 3, there were points where I'm like, I think I'm just watching this to catch up.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't necessarily care about what's going on.
Yeah, it's pretty dry. It's starting to pick up in season 4.
Yeah.
We're looking forward to. See, you haven't watched episode 1 of season 4 yet, so.
Yeah, but see, like, I think part of the issue is once Flash started and became more exciting, it makes Arrows seem a lot slower.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess that's it with that. I mean, I like the show. Don't get me wrong, but I like Flash better.
Yeah. Oh, everyone does. But in addition to last time we talked about Supergirl and Flash having their crossover, I just want to briefly point out, for those of you who have watched The Flash up to date, quickly we'll discuss the time jump or the world jump.
Okay.
So they jump through the portal to this wormhole.
Yep.
To Earth 2.
Okay.
While they're running through, they see different windows into different universes.
Yep.
One of which you see Supergirl flying.
Yep.
Another vision, you see the '90s Flash.
Yeah.
Which is the dad, John Wesley.
John Wesley. Yep.
Yeah. So Barry Allen's dad in the show was the Flash in the '90s.
Yep.
So you see him standing. You see another Green Arrow wearing a little bit more armor. So I'm assuming that's Connor Hawke, who is Arrow's son. I'm assuming that we're going to see Oliver's son.
Oh, okay.
In the future. Then we see, I believe we saw the Legends of Tomorrow. Okay. Or someone else said it was the Legion of Superheroes, but I'm pretty sure it's just the Legends. Then we see Jonah Hex,
which they're reviving, right?
He will be in Legends of Tomorrow or play a part in Legends of Tomorrow.
Yep.
Then we see someone in an iron mask.
Iron Mask.
I feel like there was something else that was a big deal. Oh, I can't remember off the top of my head. I had everything written down. Shoot.
Why bring your notes to the podcast?
Exactly. But we just saw a bunch of different things as we were running through this portal, and it was just incredible. Just to know that, there's so many other opportunities out there for us to hit.
Well, and the cool thing is with Legends of Tomorrow, they opened up the time, spectrum. So really, that opens up a lot of things within the DC multiverse.
Mm-hmm.
You really can do a lot of stuff that you couldn't do before with the multiverse. I mean, it's just you can do anything.
Yeah, so I just wanted to point that out, just because I eventually, once you get caught up, we're gonna at least be talking about the week's episodes. But another little fun thing in the Cartoon Network universe, they're bringing back Powerpuff Girls.
Woohoo!
And they released, I think it was last year or 2014. There was a short pilot for a reboot of the Powerpuff Girls where it was completely different art, a different art style.
I seem to remember that.
Yeah, and it didn't go anywhere. But this new one looks the lines are a little bit thinner in art style, so it's not like the cartoon, and the voices are different because all you hear is Buttercup, and I don't know who voiced her, but it looks like it looks a little bit more like Clarence, kind of like it's the style that Cartoon Network has now adopted, or what art houses or animation houses doing their work now. I think it's all Canadian, but it looks interesting. It looks to still have the same vibe as the original Powerpuff Girls.
As the 90s, my decade.
Our decade. Anyway, but so there's a clip out there if you want to see it. It's Buttercup punching a very sexist lumberjack.
And
Oh my god, it's you. That's who the
I
villain is.
I'm not a
Wearing
sexist.
plaid
I am
with
a
the beard.
lumberjack, but
I mean,
I
not
am
the
not
sexist, not the
sexist.
sexist. You're right. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to put that out there.
Don't
But the
get me on the
looks,
internet
but the
being
looks.
sexist.
I know my next animation is gonna be. It's just gonna be that guy and a black guy, and that's gonna be the token nerd cast.
Yep. TV news note:
That's it.
X Files.
Oh, that's right. So
Yeah,
tell me about it.
we're
I've started watching it on Netflix.
4 episodes in now.
Mhm.
This past week featured Tim Armstrong from the band Rancid, played the villain Trash Man. Well, he wasn't really a villain, but he's a street artist that creates art that turned into like the villain monster of the week. It was pretty cool. It's a pretty cool episode. Actually heard on Tim Armstrong's Faction. If you have XM Radio, his show on Faction. He was there with some of the creators from the X Files, and he was kind of talking about his experience there. And it was kind of cool, if you didn't hear that, that the Trash Man artist, the Trash Man artist that, well, the artwork that he created, um, it was based on a guy that they saw standing outside of a stadium when they went to some game, right?
Mhm.
So it's this guy, and he has like a band-aid on his nose, right? And he's standing there in a trench coat. And the guy was like, I knew if I ever had the chance to make another X-Files, X-Files episode, I was going to do a monster based on this guy.
Oh.
So I thought that was a pretty cool little tidbit that I don't know if everybody heard that, because I mean that you have to have satellite radio and you have to have the right time to be on there when it was being played. But I thought that was a really cool tidbit about the episode that you wouldn't have heard otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
And it was really a very cool episode, because it was kind of like showing how people that maybe homeless or whatever, when they're trying to clean up neighborhoods and stuff, they just kind of push them off whether they want to go or not. And this guy's kind of like standing up for those people.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of a cool thing, really, to see.
Yeah.
So
well, I've been trying to get
caught up
on the X Files.
So.
There we go. Yeah, I've been trying to get caught up on Netflix. My roommate's been starting to watch it downstairs, so every once in a while I'll
catch up.
Yeah, I try to, because I watched one episode when I was a kid with my dad and could not watch it.
Crap out of you.
Oh, it scared the piss out of me. All right, moving on to toy news. What's happening this weekend, or what has been going on this weekend, Travis?
Yeah, for the past couple episodes we've mentioned Toy Fair, and it's Toy Fair. So for people that don't know what Toy Fair is, that is the chance for industry insiders to check out many new products that you'll see sitting on shelves later this year. And usually this is the chance to catch a lot of new stuff, for collectors that are always trying to get more information. And so far, it's been, it's day one of Toy Fair when we're recording, so we haven't got everything. But it's been news-filled weekend so far. One of the first things I'd like to mention that I have seen is actually from NECA Toys. They have apparently taken on creating Ninja Turtle figures based on the first Ninja Turtles movie from back in the 90s. So the original Muppet character type figures. So the paint looks amazing on these things. The articulation looks amazing on these things, as it always does from NECA. But these look like something I definitely will be looking at picking up. They're 1/4 scale from what we've gathered on the internet here. But they just look absolutely awesome. NECA also revealed their massive Hulk figure to go along with their Age of Ultron Marvel characters. This thing is roughly, I believe it was 20 inches tall, or taller, if I'm wrong here. But I'm being told it's about $250. So it's going to be pretty expensive, but I mean, it's a massive action figure.
Yeah.
So.
And I saw the detail of it.
Yeah.
Even the paint job looks amazing.
Yeah, usually when you get something that big.
Well, obviously for NECA, that's.
Yeah, usually when you get something that big, it's going to be a static figure. You're not going to get the articulation, but this looks like it has the exact same articulation as a much smaller figure would usually see. Another area that we've been seeing some stuff coming out of is actually from the world of Kid Robot, which they produce makes a lot of art toys or other toys that are inspired by pop culture as well. And looks like they've got a couple of new licenses. One of the things I've seen in some of the photos were actually a Star Trek license. So they're going to be creating figures based on Star Trek, which that should be very interesting. For those that don't know, Kid Robot actually makes stylized versions of these characters. So it'd be similar, kind of the same vein as Pop or some other types of stylized figures, but on a 3-inch scale generally.
Okay.
And they're sold blind box, so you don't know which one you're getting. And another interesting license that it looks like they've picked up is actually Yu-Gi-Oh!
Okay, now you're speaking my language.
I don't know anything about it other than I saw a sign in their booth that says Yu-Gi-Oh! Figures. I haven't seen photos from all over the booth yet. It also looks like they're creating a Coon and Friends series.
Excuse me, who?
Coon and Friends.
Oh, okay.
So from South Park.
Okay, gotcha.
So they did the All Cartman series this past year. It looks like they're doing some more South Park based things in the future. Moving on to Titan Toys, they also do small stylized type figures. It looks like they've actually picked up the license for Cartoon Network, and they looks like they're creating a series of figures with multiple characters throughout that universe of Cartoon Network's cartoon type series. The most interesting one to me, Johnny Bravo was in there.
Mm-hmm.
And there was also Dexter's Lab.
That's why I saw the Dexter. Yeah. That's what I'm really interested in.
Yep. There's also a ton of news coming out of Playmates with the Ninja Turtles. It looks like there's a new blind bag series coming that has like miniature 3-inch figures. I believe they had one of those in a prior release of those. But there's just news just flowing out of everywhere as far as toys are concerned. I mean, the Four Horsemen have a bunch of their Mythic Legion stuff going on. Looks like they finally got that massive troll that's roughly 20 inches tall, an action figure nonetheless. They were talking about doing it in vinyl, so it's probably a vinyl with articulation in it. Another interesting thing we saw, and I'm not sure who is releasing this, but they have a Batman chess set. So that's kind of cool. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I also have seen an image of a BB-8 ice maker, ice mold.
Mm-hmm.
And
gotta have those for the parties.
It's for like ice balls, so you can use it to like chill your like whiskey down or whatever. There's also some crazy news coming out of Jakks Pacific that they're going to release a roughly 30+ inch tall original Megazord. Mm-hmm. 30+ inch tall. So like, those giant Jakks Pacific Star Wars figures. We're talking Megazord. This is a figure that deserves to be 30 inches tall. I mean, it's like, when they take like a normal figure and they make it 20, 30 inches tall, it's like a giant stormtrooper. It doesn't really always make the most sense. Like, but this one makes sense. Like, because you could play with your normal action figures, and it's like,
and it's life
almost
size,
to scale. Like, it's almost to scale. Like if you had the regular Power Ranger standing down at the bottom, So that's a really cool one. Jakks Pacific also has more of the giant Star Wars figures we're coming to know. One of them is a BB-8, and the picture I saw has him sticking out the lighter.
Oh, when he does the thumbs up.
Yep, sticking out the lighter. It also, in the background of the photo, you can see what looks like a Batman the Animated Series belt. So I'm assuming there's a Batman the Animated Series figure shining. They've also got some stuff coming out that looks like there's a Ray, 21 inch probably, because you can see there's bigger ones in the background. A Finn in the Clone Trooper outfit. A Winter or
Stormtrooper.
Clone Trooper. Oh, no, not Clone Trooper. Sorry. Yeah, Stormtrooper. Sorry. And then in the background, we can also see a ginormous C-3PO with the red arm.
And that's what every fan wants.
Yeah. So just crazy stuff coming out from all over the place, really. And I know there's more items out there. I do have one other note. Mezco looks like they finally got their Space Ghost figure off the ground. There's been talks about this. I believe I heard rumblings about it last year at Toy Fair, and looks like it's on display and probably coming to us soon. So that's some really cool, really, really cool stuff that I've seen so far out of Toy Fair.
Mm-hmm. Well, we're going to move on to the stuff that I know. we're gonna talk a little bit about Funko. And so I've actually have noticed that I don't really talk about the other Funko, uh, not items, but
Products.
products. Yeah,
So
I
like the
I mainly
little,
focus on
what are those
pops.
other things?
Uh,
The
see that?
little round ones with the
Yeah,
heads,
Diaz,
something.
something like that. And that makes me sound discreditable. But like, I focus mainly on pops because that's what I'm collecting.
Now they have some really cool stuff they've showed so far though at Toy Fair in the statue-ish
Hmm.
department, like the more like stylized, as in like shaped like the characters. I've seen some Harley Quinn's, Wonder Woman,
Batgirls look. The one I saw was Batgirl's
Batgirl.
really
Yeah,
cool.
those look pretty cool. Like, I mean, that's not something we touch on a whole lot of, but they look like they have them in multiple sizes too, which is kind of cool. And I'm
Hmm.
sure that they're not terribly expensive as most pop or most Funko items are.
No. But we're just gonna focus real quick on the pop because that's just what I'm excited to talk about. As the week's been going on, I've seen more and more posts of concept art and even some early prototypes they put on display. One of the first ones that I saw that were posted online by Original Funko on their Instagram page was the One Piece Funko figures. And without going too in depth into it, we got a Luffy figure, we have a Law, we have Ace, and we have Chopper. Oddly enough, it's strange that they would pick Chopper. The other three are fan favorites, but I didn't think Chopper in there because it was a cute figure and they wanted to keep it cute. But this is just the first wave of probably five. The other thing that I thought was really interesting was we saw a concept book that will show us Gohan, young Gohan, where he's wearing his 4-star hat, Fat Majin Buu, a really cool Krillin figure. Never thought I'd say that. Where Krillin's in a really cool pose. Dragon Ball Bulma. We even have Trunks with his sword out. That's with his sword out. We have Trunks, and then we have Goku, young Goku from Dragon Ball on Nimbus. We also get a look at the next wave of Star Wars figures, which will include Old Man Luke Skywalker with a beard and robe, scarred Kylo Ren, Rey with a lightsaber, that other bounty hunter with the red helmet that we really didn't see in the movie, but everyone keeps having figures and talking about, General Hux, Maz Kanata, CO-74, and then uh, everyone knows him as the traitor clone
Traitor.
trooper or stormtrooper. But I believe in the book, before Star Wars Episode 7 or the Road to Star Wars Episode 7, the one that came out the day of. I think his name is FN2109, and I guess his name is Nines, and he was a friend of Finn's in the book that they trained together.
Everybody wants him to be TR8R.
TR8R, traitor.
Traitor.
Another one that stands out because there's tons of stuff that's been going out, but there's my kind of must-have, the Golden Girls.
Hey, who doesn't want the Golden Girls?
Sophia, Rose, Blanche, and Dorothy.
Yep.
I don't know. I really want Sophia, but everyone knows that Blanche was the hot one. She was a little wild. But anyway, but no, Golden Girls are out there. We even have Elliot from Pete's Dragon. It's gonna be a 6-inch figure. It's gonna be awesome. So I'm assuming that we're gonna have that, and then we'll even have a maybe a Hot Topic exclusive where he's half invisible, kind of like the Bing Bong.
Yeah.
No, Bing Bong was fully clear. There was the Vision from Age of Ultron. He was half clear. So I'm expecting to see something like that. Mona, which is an upcoming Disney movie. They haven't released any concept art for them, but we're gonna know that there's going to be, I think, four figures, but they're unable to release because of Disney.
Yeah.
And so, like I said, we're gonna have a couple different new Star Wars figures. We even have one that stands out, Space Ghost, which I'm very excited for.
I wonder if they're going to do more Space Ghosts like some of the other characters.
See, I think it's gonna be like Beetlejuice, where there's just one special figure.
And see how it does, maybe.
But we also get to see from Marvel, we get some classic figures, and I know we had mentioned this in our top 16 or 2016 list to look forward to. We have Spider Gwen, we have Nemesis Punisher, we have Doctor Strange, Captain Marvel, we even have She Hulk, we have a classic looking Falcon, and a Doc Ock figure. So that's something to look forward to. Just in general, extremely excited about what's coming for Funko. Because recently I've looked through and it's just like I don't know, I'm not seeing anything I really want lately. But
now they've got some new stuff.
Yeah, they're really
also,
starting to kick in the high gear. So this is gonna be a really exciting year for pop figures and pop collectors.
Yeah, there's also the Sailor Moon line. Did you see this?
Oh yeah, sorry, I blanked out. I was drawn to the pictures.
Sailor Moon.
Yeah, we got some Sailor Moon pictures. I'm surprised that is just now happening.
Yeah, I mean that seems like one that would have been a fairly easy kill for a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like Sailor Moon's getting a lot of attention though. I saw they actually just signed on the folks that voice Sailor Moon stuff for C2E2 as well.
Yeah,
So
well,
it
I
seems
know
like
they
they're
have
kind
Sailor
of
Moon Rose or Sailor Moon Crystal. They did a like almost like how Dragon Ball Z Kai. No, not really. They redid the Sailor Moon the original series in HD, and they reanimated and added on new scenes and stuff. So I think they're gonna redub it.
yeah.
But one thing I did want to point out that I didn't get to talk about was our last episode we had talked about the Suicide Squad pop figures, and we saw the concept art for those.
Yep.
Well, they just released the prototypes of them at Toy Fair, and we saw pictures, and they look great.
Yeah, they looked really, really good.
You know, except for Rick Flag and Captain Boomerang, who were just pretty dull. But Harley Quinn looks cool. Killer Croc looks cool. Katana is the figure I really want to have out of that series.
Yeah. Another interesting thing from Funko that I actually saw was that they're actually going to. This is outside of Pop for the moment, but they've actually picked up the license for Barbie, which I thought was fairly interesting. They're going to do some of their statue type figures, and they're also going to do some of their smaller blind box type figures, and they've got very interesting looks for the the classic Barbie. I mean, it's really just kind of something that I never. I mean, I know that Funko has everything, but that is not something I would have ever thought.
Yeah, I wouldn't have thought they got
figure.
rights to another toy company.
Yeah, I mean, literally, that's Mattel's bread and butter there. So I would, it's just so interesting to see that they actually got something like that.
Yeah, I think I also saw Harry Potter was getting a train like.
Yeah, there's like sets where it's a character in a train car.
Yeah, Harry Potter on.
And from what it appears, those actually can make a train. Like you get all of them because it's like one had an engine and others had. Cars.
Oh, okay. I didn't see that. I just saw Harry in the train part.
Yeah,
so there's going to be
other ones too. That had additional different types of cars. It also looks like they are taking on a collaboration with Playmobil for a lot of figures, and they're making kind of like the Playmobil style figures, which are they feature like a round head and kind of like a humanoid body, but it's a stylized thing as well. It was from earlier in the 2000s. Playmobil had stuff that was kind of popular, but it looks like they've got Turtles, Back to the Future, Willy Wonka. Let's see, there's other stuff as well. It's just really cool, stuff that like Funko's got stuff everywhere. So I mean, it's not surprising that they've got all these cool things coming, but it's just crazy like the amount of stuff that Funko can put out.
Yeah, like our Instagram feed is just full of
Funko. People taking photos of Funko and Funko sharing stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, there's just so much stuff from Funko.
And we could really spend the next
forever
15 minutes talking about Funko, but I kind of want to journey off into something else that I've also collect off on the side, and that is the DC collectibles. And last year for the 75th anniversary, they really focused on Batman the Animated Series. Well, they've shown the next wave for the Batman figures because in my main room I have the Batmobile and I have the Animated Series Batman. Well, Travis, my friend, they have just shown the next wave, which will include the amazing series that I feel like isn't getting enough credit nowadays, but that is Batman Beyond. We're going to have Terry McGinnis in the new Batman Beyond suit with extended red wings. We'll have Ace the Bat Hound and Old Man Bruce Wayne.
And I thought that Old Man Bruce Wayne just looked awesome.
I know. I really want Old Man Bruce Wayne, so I don't know why.
The other thing is, too, and I'm always amazed with these figures because they don't look like they would stand.
Yeah, really well.
Like their shapes are so odd.
But they also have stands behind them that hold them up.
Oh, okay, that's too.
Yeah, because I know my Batman's legs are pretty chicken though.
Yeah, and the Mr. Freeze, the legs are so tiny on that as
well. But no, we're gonna have like I said, Batman Beyond. We're even gonna have like the Ladies of Gotham, which will also include some of the ladies from Metropolis. We'll have Poison Ivy, Batgirl, Harley Quinn, and then we'll have Supergirl and Livewire. We're also gonna get a really awesome looking Clayface figure, which I know you're excited about.
Yeah, the Clayface looks absolutely awesome. I mean, it's just that's one of my favorite characters from the animated series, really, just because he's just so, just out there. He's just like a.
And the episode was gorgeous. I mean, it was just awesome the way they animated it.
And they just did an awesome job with that figure. It looks like it even bends at the waist a little bit. It's got a point of articulation there, so it should be pretty cool to get some poses out of.
Yeah, and we also are going to see Firefly, and then an Exo Bat suit, which is also from the Batman Beyond series. Yep. We're going to get, I think did I mention already Christmas the Joker? That one's I'm very excited for. There was a special holiday episode of Batman where the Joker kidnaps the mayor, and anyway, it's Joker in a sweater. Gotta have it.
I'm assuming that comes out next Christmas.
I would assume they'd have to push it back. I mean, it's the perfect holiday gift.
Yeah, it really is. I mean, it's just one of those things that.
But I think that they're all coming out in April. They're going to start coming out in April and slowly trickle down. But we're also going to get Legends of the Dark Knight, which was a special episode in the Batman, the new episodes of the Batman animated series, which will show a big, like almost, it kind of looks like the Clayface size of a big bulkier Batman, Carrie Kelly looking Robin, and then a mutant boss. And then we even are going to get 4 specialty Harley Quinn figures, which one will be the retro Harley Quinn, or retro Rocket Harley Quinn, which is her in like an astronaut looking suit. We're going to have superhero Harley Quinn, from which she teamed up with Power Girl in the comics, classic Harley Quinn, and holiday Harley Quinn, all from the new 52 runs that she's been in, because she's become our Deadpool almost.
Yeah, I can see it.
But I mean, gotta have it. And you already know that I'm a big Harley Quinn fan, so I'm probably gonna have those on my shelf in the back room. Not back room, that sounds weird. Other room, the room that's behind us.
How come every time we talk about your Harley Quinn collection,
it always
you feel
gets
like
weird?
You have to defend it.
Because I always say stupid things like in my back room where I have this Harley Quinn shrine.
Where I keep my back room.
But those are the figures that I'm really excited for, and like you said, it's only Saturday, so.
Yeah. And I think you forgot to mention one massive thing.
Oh, you're right.
And if you've seen the photo already, there's a picture of a man holding like what quite possibly might be the largest vehicle ever for the Batman the Animated Series collectibles.
And that is a Batwing.
Yes.
Big enough to scale. Well, not to scale. You can basically put all your figures inside of it, just like the Batmobile.
2 figures, probably, right?
I think it'll only be 1. I don't think it's big enough.
It's not a 2-person thing.
Oh yeah, you're right. They'll go front to back, not side to side.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's an image that was released of a lovely gentleman wearing a Batman blazer, holding the Batwing. I mean, and he's holding it like it's as big as his torso.
Yep.
I think it's going to run for $100 from what I read online. So that's definitely a must-have.
I mean, that's right on par with what
the Batmobile
last
cost
one was too, which is pretty amazing for the size of that.
And the next question is, how much is the piano wire so I can hang it from my ceiling?
I wonder if it's going to light up in any way, like the
most likely.
I mean, that's a pretty cool addition to that line of that line of vehicles, as well as the light up.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and the ones I didn't get to mention were we'll have a Bullock, a Talia, and we'll even have the New Adventures version of Joker with the black beady eyes that everyone likes.
I mean, it looks like they're just killing it with this line of figures.
Mm-hmm.
I love that cartoon. I love the look of that cartoon, and it's really cool to see the figures in that style, like
the Bruce Timm style.
They're very much more in the style than even the figures were in the classic like Kenner lines.
Mm-hmm.
So it's really cool to see them taking this on, and the fact that it got legs and it's been able to go and it's going and it's going, and they're able to take from a few series. It's really cool to see them bring Batman Beyond into this.
Yeah. Because we're gonna get really, really cool figures from Batman Beyond. We could eventually get Ink, which will be an awesome figure. Shriek will be. Shriek is made to be a figure, so I'm very excited for that. But that's all I've got on on what I've been excited for. Unless you've seen anything else that you want to mention.
Well, in the DC realm, we also have the stuff that was revealed for the Batman vs Superman movie. Like lots of really cool stuff. We've also got a Swamp Thing.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, there's just so much at this DC booth that it's almost impossible to keep up. But they're putting it underneath the DC Icons label, and they've got Swamp Thing, Deathstroke, and then a Wonder Woman. So those look like they're coming out in about September from the listing here. And we've also got a Cyborg and a that's it. The Cyborg. That's pretty cool though. Like those are characters that we don't see toys a lot of. But we also got some stuff out of the Suicide Squad movie. We've got a Harley, a Lex Luthor, and a
Joker.
No, actually, El Diablo. So
they're really pushing him.
He must be like important in the movie, or it's like Finn.
I'm assuming he's gonna die.
It's a kind of like a red herring that he's not really important.
Yeah.
So
well, I mean, you don't see him in it. Like there are some shows you don't see him at all.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming
the figures all look like they're done really, really well. So it'd be very interesting to see those in person once they actually start hitting the shelves. I mean, Toy Fair so far has been just information on information. So If you like toys, then it's time to be excited. If you don't like toys, then you probably should change to a different podcast.
Yeah. No. Don't go.
No, don't
stay,
go.
Stay here.
We're going to talk about something else now. I don't know what it is, but I'm hoping you're staying around for it.
Yeah. But no, so that's some exciting stuff that's coming from Toy Fair. And if you stay updated with our Twitter and our Instagram page, we're being posting stuff as it's become interesting to us.
Yep. So if you if you have any comments or anything like that you want to throw out there, make sure to put it on our in the comment section down here on YouTube. Tell us what you think. If you're excited for any of these toys, if you saw Deadpool and disagreed with what we had to say, or you wanted to say, hey, I liked it too, make sure to put that down there. We also encourage you to write us if you have some fan mail. If you want us to, maybe read it on the air here, we'll be more than happy to do that, good or bad. So let us know. You can do that at tokennerdpodcast@gmail.com. If you want to keep up with our latest happenings on Instagram, make sure to go to @token_nerd. We also have a Twitter where we post updates and retweets from awesome stuff that we catch. It's token_nerd at token_nerd on Twitter. That's the one. And really, we're just excited to be in our 6th episode. I mean, nobody really thought this would go on this long.
Nope. But we're getting there. We got some surprises coming up in the future.
Yep.
Maybe we'll even have a podcast soon that will have no ringing.
Yeah. We're hopefully going to be able to upgrade our equipment here in the next few episodes to where we can actually not have ringing in your ears.
Yeah.
So,
all right.
I guess that's it for this week. I mean, it's a big week as far as toys are concerned, at least. And hopefully we'll have some big, more stuff in the next episode where we get more reveals as the weekend continues.
All right. Well, I guess that's going to be it for our episode. Also, don't forget that Travis is also on Urban Violent Daily. You want to plug yourself a little bit?
Yeah, if you want to check out more information on things like Kid Robot and Titan Toys, make sure to follow us at Urban Vinyl Daily on Instagram, Twitter, or check out urbanvinyldaily.com. We have a lot of big news actually coming up soon. Hopefully we'll be on Kickstarter with our first ever original produced product in the next month or in the next couple of weeks, actually. So if you're interested in designer toys or art toys, make sure to check it out.
Yep. And so, like he mentioned before, I just want to force it down your throats. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel. And as always, I'm Anthony.
And I'm Travis.
Stay spicy, my friends.